In the heart of Africa, nestled in a picturesque village, lived Ayu, a diligent farmer who inherited his father's land and livestock upon his passing. With a farm flourishing with crops, fish, chicken, and goats, Ayu found himself at a crossroads when it came to matters of the heart. Ayu had two close female friends, Adina and Esther, both unique in their own ways. Adina, renowned for her beauty, was favoured by Ayu's mother as a suitable match. However, Ayu felt a deeper connection with Esther, sensing compatibility beyond the surface. Despite his instincts, Ayu succumbed to his mother's wishes and married Adina. Coincidentally, Esther also found love and tied the knot around the same time. Years passed, and Ayu and Adina were blessed with twins, a boy and a girl. However, happiness soon turned to discord when Adina announced her plans to pursue higher education in Canada, urging Ayu to relocate with her and the children. Ayu's devotion to his farm, the legacy of his family, clashed with Adina's aspirations. Unable to reach a compromise, tensions escalated and Ayu fell ill, leaving him vulnerable. Seizing the opportunity, Adina made a drastic decision. She sold Ayu's livestock and part of their land without his consent, financing her journey to Canada, leaving Ayu and his farm in disarray. Devastated by the betrayal, Ayu's mother, who had witnessed the downfall of her son's livelihood, succumbed to the pain, leaving Ayu alone in his struggles. Meanwhile, Esther, having faced her own challenges and divorced, returned to the village, drawn by Ayu's plight. With compassion and determination, she nursed Ayu back to health, igniting a renewed sense of hope within him. Together, Ayu and Esther resurrected the farm, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Esther eventually put to bed twins, a joyful moment that spread throughout the village. The news of Esther's twins reached the ears of the village king, who was astonished by the turn of events. In a gesture of celebration, he declared a grand naming ceremony day, promising to cover all expenses from the royal treasury. Yet, just as the festivities were about to commence, a surprising guest emerged. Adina, who had returned from Canada unbeknownst to anyone. Claiming her status as Ayu's wife, she disrupted the joyous occasion with her unexpected arrival, casting a shadow over the celebrations. As the villagers watched in disbelief, Ayu faced a dilemma that would test the bonds of love, loyalty, and family, betrayal, and redemption in the heart of Africa. To listen to part 2, please like, follow, and subscribe to receive notifications when it's posted. Adina's abrupt return to the village sent shockwaves through the community, disrupting the joyous occasion and casting a somber shadow over the celebration. As the villagers watched in disbelief, Ayu found himself facing a dilemma that would test the very bonds of love, loyalty, and family. Before we move forward, there is something you must know. Scroll down this page and watch part 1. Just a few days later, the king summoned Ayu, Esther, and Adina to his palace, seeking to address the turmoil that had unfolded. Adina, consumed by her own emotions, vehemently declared Ayu as her husband, further complicating the already tense situation. The king, his expression stern, directed his attention to Adina, questioning Adina. "Why did you sell Ayu's livestock and properties without his consent?" the king inquired, his voice tinged with disappointment. Adina, her gaze shifting with guilt, confessed that she had done so to cover her relocation expenses to Canada with her children. The king's brow furrowed in dismay as he admonished her for her reckless actions, emphasizing the damage she had caused. "Do you not understand the gravity of your actions?" The king continued, his tone grave. "Ayu's mother is no longer with us because of what you have done. And where are your children now?" he pressed, his eyes searching for answers. Adina, her head bowed in shame, admitted the painful truth. "As I settled in Canada, I pursued my education and took on a small part-time job. However, the challenges of raising my children in a foreign land, coupled with the harsh weather, overwhelmed me," she confessed, her voice laden with regret. "My neighbors reported me to social services, and they deemed me unfit to care for my twins. They were taken from me." Ayu's heart shattered at the revelation, his anguish palpable as he struggled to comprehend the depth of Adina's actions. Esther, ever the pillar of strength, wrapped her arms around him, offering solace in the midst of turmoil. With a heavy sigh, the king sought to restore order to the chaos that had unfolded. "Adina," he said, his voice tinged with finality, "you are hereby banished from this kingdom. Never shall you return." As Adina's form disappeared into the horizon, a sense of closure descended upon the village. Though the scars of betrayal ran deep, the bonds of love and family endured, offering hope for a brighter tomorrow in the heart of Africa. 25 years had passed. Adina's twins, now grown, embarked on a journey of self-discovery that would lead them back to their village. With determination etched into their features, the twins navigated through bustling cities and vast landscapes, driven by an unspoken longing to uncover the truth of their origins and whispered tales of a father they had never known. They pressed onward, their hearts heavy with anticipation and uncertainty. The twins found themselves enveloped in a sense of nostalgia, each step bringing them closer to the answers they sought. Finally, standing at the edge of the village, they hesitated, their gaze sweeping over the familiar faces and bustling activity before them. Summoning their courage, the twins stepped forward, their hearts racing as they sought out the truth that had eluded them for so long. And then, as if guided by fate itself, they found themselves face to face with a figure whose features mirrored their own. Ayu, weathered by time yet unmistakably their father, stood before them, his expression a mixture of disbelief and wonder. Tears welled in Ayu's eyes as he embraced his long-lost children, their reunion a testament to the enduring power of love and forgiveness. In that moment, the wounds of the past began to heal, replaced by a newfound sense of belonging and redemption. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, Ayu, Adina's twins, and Esther stood together, united by the ties of kinship and the promise of a future forged from the ashes of the past. And amidst the echoes of their shared history, they found solace in the realization that, in the heart of Africa, true family knows no bounds. If this is your first time visiting my page, I warmly invite you to explore further. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe for more engaging content. Your support means the world to me, and I look forward to sharing even more with you in the days ahead. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Atopuakwa, you serve yourself.
In the heart of Africa, amidst lush forests and flowing rivers, lived Chinedu, a powerful sorcerer, and his loyal servant, Uche. Together, they dedicated their lives to curing diseases using herbs from the forest near the river. One day, while gathering herbs, they caught the attention of Cynthia, a majestic white snake, and her younger sister, a vibrant green snake who dwelled in the depths of the river. Intrigued by Uche, Cynthia followed them home disguised as a woman and offered her assistance with the healing herbs, gradually winning Uche's heart. Unaware of Cynthia's true identity, Uche fell deeply in love. However, their secret romance was soon discovered by Chinedu, who was shocked to find the white snake with his devoted servant. In a fit of jealousy and anger, Chinedu trapped Uche and Cynthia in a room, hoping to separate them. But when Cynthia revealed her true form, transforming into a giant snake, she couldn't bring herself to harm Uche, despite her instinctual nature. Witnessing the unfolding chaos, Uche trembled with fear as Cynthia struggled to contain her conflicting emotions. Eventually, the white snake rolled away, heartbroken and wounded, while her sister, the green snake, comforted her in the depths of the river. In a small African village nestled amidst lush greenery, fear gripped the hearts of its inhabitants. They had witnessed the terrifying power of Cynthia, the snake maid, and her sister, the green snake. Their destructive presence loomed over the village, leaving devastation in their wake. Desperate for protection, the villagers turned to Chinedu, a renowned and powerful sorcerer. They pleaded with him to shield them from the impending doom that Cynthia and her sister threatened to bring upon them. However, Chinedu reluctantly informed them that he lacked the strength to combat the malevolent forces of Cynthia and her sister. The villagers, consumed by fear and anger, turned on Uche, Chinedu's loyal servant, blaming him for their plight. With the threat of Cynthia and her sister looming large, the villagers feared for their very lives. In a bid to find a solution, the king summoned Chinedu to the palace, seeking his counsel. Despite the king's hopes, Chinedu confessed that his powers were insufficient to match those of Cynthia and her sister. Desperate for salvation, the elders suggested that Chinedu venture into the forbidden forest in search of ancient powers. Atopuakwa, Gandugagandusa, and Abidoshakar. Chinedu agreed to embark on the perilous quest. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to the villagers, Cynthia struggled with conflicting emotions. Despite her sister's encouragement to destroy the community, Cynthia found herself deeply in love with Uche, Chinedu's servant. Heartbroken and torn, she hesitated to unleash further chaos. As days passed without any word from Chinedu, the villagers grew restless. Fueled by fear and desperation, they resolved to sacrifice Uche to the ocean gods, believing him to be the cause of their misfortune. Just as they prepared to carry out their grim deed, Cynthia and her sister intercepted them, learning of their intentions. Moved by Cynthia's love for Uche, the villagers shared their plight with her. Suddenly, Chinedu emerged from the depths of the forbidden forest, bearing the ancient powers the villagers had sought. With renewed determination, he confronted Cynthia and her sister in a fierce battle. Utilizing the powers of Atopuakwa, Gandugagandusa, and Abidoshakar, Chinedu managed to trap the malevolent beings in a magical pot. With a mighty throw, he cast them back into the ocean, declaring, "Back from whence you came, we shall have peace, happiness, and prosperity in our community once more." Filled with relief and gratitude, the villagers returned to their homes, rejoicing in their newfound safety. And as the sun set over the village, a sense of tranquility washed over the land, knowing that they were finally free from the clutches of darkness.
My boyfriend Samuel and I have been together for 4 years. We studied at University of Lagos. Samuel got a job at a transport company in Lagos. I got admission to do my master's in Scotland. We agreed that if I graduate, I will come back and get a job and we'll get married. I have been faithful to him. Just a few months ago, I met someone where I worked part-time in Scotland and we became friends, and his name is Tunde. I always tell Tunde about my boyfriend Samuel. Tunde and I engage in frequent conversation in both text and calls. I see him as my fellow country brother and a friend. One day, we went for a night shift at work, and in the morning, we became tired. Tunde offers to drive me home, as that day was a weekend. Reaching my home, I offered to serve him a cup of tea because the weather was so cold. You know how freezy Scottish weather is. He accepted and came in for a cup of tea. As he is drinking the cup of tea, and I as well, the situation changed and we accidentally had it, Atopuakwa. I am now 2 months pregnant for Tunde and I don't know what to do. I have not informed Tunde yet. Please, should I tell my boyfriend Samuel about this or should I tell Tunde? I am between Samuel and Tunde. What should I do?
I am Chakudi. Hear the short story of my life. I married my wife in 2012. Everything was fine. Before we got married, my wife had a best friend who happens to be a guy, and his name is Ifini. I knew Ifini before we got married, as my wife told me that he was a family friend, and my wife's family know about Ifini. But there was something strange when I asked my wife's parents about Ifini. Their answers was not satisfying to me. He comes to our house frequently. During COVID, he lived with us. When my father-in-law found that he lived with us, he called and confessed everything to me. And he also told me that I should not allow Ifini close to my house. What he told me was shocking to me. Before I continue, please like, follow and subscribe for more.
My father-in-law told me that Ifini was my wife's boyfriend. Ifini wanted to marry her, but wasn't financially capable. I am telling you now to clear my conscience as an elderly person. My father-in-law also told me that he has warned my wife over it. I asked my wife about it and she denied it. And I asked my wife about it over and over and over again, and she kept denying it. Anytime I am alone, I will yell at myself. It is very painful to me. I am confused and I don't know what to do. I need your advice. Please, what should I do?
I have lived in the UK since 2007, and in 2011 I went to Nigeria to get married. After my wedding, I traveled 3 times a year. We had 3 kids together, 2 girls and a boy. We're happy and I provide all my family needs. Because of the rules and regulations in the UK, I need to meet the criteria to bring my family to the UK. Part of the extra documents required for family unification is proof of DNA. My first daughter is 10 years old, the second is 7, and my son is 4 years old. All DNA test, and unfortunately, my 2 daughters are not mine. Only my 4-year-old son is my child. I am in the center of confusion. How will I handle this?